It's time for battle number 3 of week number 4 of the FnF Victory Road Draft League Season 2. This battle is going to be pitting Emberhoof's team, which is Rio Grande Rapidash, versus Morgana's team, which is Northern Necrozmas. In this battle, there are no Mega Pokemon appearing, but both teams have brought their Z Crystal Pokemon. We have Crocodile with Z Attack and Tornadus Therian with Z Any Privilege. On the other team, we have Zeraora and Zeraora and Necrozma. Necrozma being the one with Z Any, and Zeraora being the one with Z Attack Privilege. It looks like Emberhoof is actually bringing a team that's pretty similar to last week. It's a little different, but we do see Musharna and Exploud both appearing, Breloom as well, so this could actually be a Trick Room team once again. I'm excited to see it if it is. On the other side, we have some pretty fast Pokemon, Gengar, Zeraora, Hitmonlee to an extent, and Virizion. But there are also some bulky Pokemon as well, Necrozma and Primarina, both being pretty bulky and usually opting to go special. So this is going to be an interesting battle to see if we see the Trick Room changing things around, if Ember decides to go for the Trick Room. There is no Sandstorm in this battle, so Morgana's going to probably go for a different tactic than that. And we also see him bringing Hitmonlee, which is a new acquisition from him due to exchanges this week. So this is going to be a battle to see who can continue to rise to the top and who will be pushed down a peg. But both of these trainers have done pretty well so far in the league, so I think that this will be a fun one. I'm excited to see how it goes, so let's begin. I'm wondering if Ember's actually going to go for that Musharna Trick Room lead once again, or if he's going to save Musharna for later. I do believe Musharna is the only Pokemon he has that has Trick Room on this 6 Pokemon team. He does have Diancie that has Trick Room as well, but he didn't bring it this time. Necrozma actually has Trick Room on the other side, but I don't think we'll see it this time around. One Pokemon I will say that Ember's probably going to have to watch out for is Primarina. It's very hard-hitting moves, especially if boosted by Choice Specs, will do some big damage. And speaking of Primarina, here comes Primarina now. Aerith the Primarina versus Liability the Crocodile. Crocodile's probably not going to want to stick around versus Aerith, being weak to both Fairy and Water moves, and not having the best defenses compared to Primarina's strong special attack stat. Liability might have been a Stealth Rock lead, or a lead to try to scare away Zeraora and Gengar from leading, hitting both of them very hard. Aerith, I do think, was a good choice by Morgana, being able to threaten any one of Ember's Pokemon pretty substantially. But he will also want to save Aerith for later too, I think, just in case there's a runaway sweeper that can't take it down in one hit. Either way, I think Primarina was a very good choice for this matchup. If we do see a switch-in coming from Ember, I would probably guess it's Lantern, being specially bulky and being able to take a water hit and resist it pretty nicely. There's actually nothing on Ember's team that can take a Fairy move pretty easily, so that actually might be the move we see instead, maybe a strong Moonblast coming from Aerith. course, there is the option of Liability using a strong Z move to take down Aerith. It would be really interesting to see if we see like a Z Thunder Fang. That might actually be enough to take it down, because Aerith's defense, unless it's invested, isn't really that good. Both Pokemon looking at each other. The situation is pretty tense, and we have Colin joining and leaving. Joining once again, and this turn he's joined 5 times. Okay, and Lantern's the one to come in. Jules Verne taking that Moonblast. It's going to do massive damage, taking Lantern down to 18%. But it looks like Lantern's not going to be the Pokemon, a Pokemon that's that useful in this matchup. So I think Ember did make the right choice in deciding to scrap Lantern if a Pokemon needed to be scrapped. Jules Verne is very hurt by that Moonblast, but still does have the advantage of being able to use Volt Switch or Discharge, as we see here. Discharge is going to hit, doing decent damage, but Aerith is ultimately going to take down Lantern with that strong Moonblast. I'd say this is the Pokemon that Ember's going to have to take down if he wants to gain some steam in this battle. Breloom Larson comes out. Aerith can hit very hard with the Moonblast if it's speed invested. Not good news for Breloom. But if Breloom is faster, Aerith is not going to have a good time versus a Bullet Seed, Seed Bomb, you name it. We're on turn 3, and Lantern has gone down. Will Breloom suffer the same fate, or will it punch through and take down Aerith? I do believe Breloom is actually slower. No, it's actually a little faster than Primarina, my bad. So Breloom's a little faster than Primarina. In comes Necrozma. Blacklight is going to get hit by that Bullet Seed. It is going to hit 3 times, doing massive damage, taking it down to almost a quarter health after leftovers. We see the item that Breloom Larson was holding is a Life Orb, so that is going to slowly take away from Breloom's longevity. This could be a Technician Breloom instead of a Poison Heal Breloom, also due to the fact that Morgana is more of a hyper-offensive player rather than a Toxic Staller, so it seems like Breloom does not mind losing Poison Heal in this matchup in order to get Technician for that Bullet Seed damage output increase, as well as the Mach Punch damage output increase. In this scenario, Blacklight does outspeed Breloom, and so Breloom's going to have to think very carefully before it attacks Next, it might be a switch that we'll see, but into what is the question? It's possible we could see Musharna actually come out Blacklight, the Necrozma, will have a lot of options to deal with Breloom. Of course, it has its strong stab psychic moves. It also has a variety of support moves, including Reflect, Light Screen, Thunder Wave, Stealth Rock. It can go for a setup with Calm Mind. It could try to recover some from that last hit, predicting the switch. It's really hard to tell what Necrozma is going to do once you're against it because it is so versatile. There is a very real possibility also that Necrozma is going to try to predict the switch into Crocodile. Oh, and actually Breloom goes for the Mach Punch. Gutsy move. Heat Wave is going to hit hard, though, taking down Breloom. Blacklight is holding on by a thread at 11%. Now at 17% after leftovers. Will we see Musharna come in, set up that Trick Room, and go to town? I'm really curious to see the Trick Room again. I think he brought it because Musharna and X-Cloud and Trick Room just have such great potential, but I'm not sure. But I would love to see that strategy used again. I just really love Trick Room. At this point, Blacklight is weak enough to pick off by something else. We could see Crocodile coming in to take the spoils with a Choice Scarf and Moxie. Knockoff will hit extremely hard, and nothing will want to come into that knockoff except Virizion. Virizion will like coming into that knockoff because Justified will give it an attack boost, and that could be bad news for Ember. Good news for Morgana. We could also see Tornadus come in, try to pivot away, and take down Blacklight in the process. It's really a lot of different options we could see here. The only thing I see unlikely in this scenario is X-Cloud. If X-Cloud's going to be used to its fullest potential, I think Trick Room would probably be the play for it first. Score is 4-6, but Necrozma is badly damaged, and Primarina has taken some damage as well, about 40%. This next move could determine the pace of the match for Ember. Necrozma does look pretty comfortable versus most of the Pokemon on his team speed-wise, except, well, I was going to say except Crocodile and except Tornadus. Liability, the Crocodile comes out poised to take out Blacklight, but it does have to worry about that switch into Virizion. Especially if it's Scarfed, if it goes for the knockoff, Virizion can come in and dish some damage. Morgana actually has 3 switch-ins, 2 Dark-type moves. Hitmonlee, Virizion, and Primarina. Primarina is a little weak and not going to want to take that hit, but Hitmonlee, if it takes a knockoff, it could actually activate Unburden, and Virizion will take a Justified. Earthquake is the move used by Liability for Levin to come in. Good move on Ember's part, not triggering the Justified. Liability is probably going to want to skedaddle out of there, though. We might see Tornadus Therian come in instead to threaten Levin away. Levin's not going to be able to hit Tornadus Therian with anything very easily, except maybe Stone Edge or Rock Slide. I do believe it gets at least one of the two. Even with Stone Edge hitting pretty hard, I do think Tornadus Therian is going to be the one to come in. Either that or Musharna. I don't think Liability is going to stick around. Levin can go for a rock move at this point, or it could go for a Swords Dance, boost up. Once again, Crocodile's on the receiving end of two weaknesses, Fighting and Grass, and both of its typings are not very effective against Levin, so not a good situation for Liability. Levin is sitting in the clear pretty much in this scenario. Just on turn 6, and so far it has been a little bit of an explosive match. There have been some pretty hard hits. And Tornadus Therian does come out Majin Buu. Levin does decide to go for that for that Swords Dance, but it is not going to want to stick around versus a Hurricane, especially from a very speedy Pokemon like Tornadus Therian. And an Air Slash is going to take down Levin, and the score is now 4-5. Zeraora comes out, Circuit the Zeraora. Lantern is gone, so it cannot Volt Absorb a Zeraora's hit. Majin Buu is going to have to be very careful around this Zeraora. Crocodile might also have to be careful switching into the predicted Plasma Fists, because of the fact that Circuit the Zeraora will likely also have close combat. With Virizion gone, Crocodile is a little safer in using its Dark moves. It still does have to be careful of Hitmonlee with Unburden, but even with Unburden, Hitmonlee is still going to need a boost from Curse or Bulk Up to do really big damage to Musharna, most likely. Circuit is looking very threatening right now, especially with its access to close combat. The big question is, switch into Crocodile or not? Another factor to consider is Musharna. Will it be able to take a strong physical hit from Circuit the Zeraora and then take one more in setting up Trick Room? That is assuming it has Trick Room, which I am assuming it has. Exploud is actually the one to come out. THX, Devastating Drake is going to do huge damage to Exploud, 18%. Interesting choice of move. I'm wondering actually why he decided to pack on Devastating Drake to Zeraora. Maybe it was to counter Dragalge, which we actually are not seeing in this matchup. THX severely weakened. One hit from this Circuit will be enough to do it in, and it is outsped by Circuit. Zeraora is looking very threatening to Emberhoof's team right now, especially with that close combat. Yep, close combat is going to take down THX. 3-5 is the score. Liability of the Crocodile is going to come in, though. It is now free to Earthquake as it pleases, especially considering Virizion is gone. And the Earthquake is going to take down Circuit and boost Liability's attack with Moxie. If this Liability has a Choice Scarf, this could be devastating for Morgana. This is looking like the beginning of what could be a sweep. Morgana did pack a Focus Sash, however, on Gengar last time. It's possible that he has a Focus Sash on Gengar again this time. If it does have a Focus Sash, it could survive the Earthquake and hit back with a Dazzling Gleam to possibly one-hit KO Liability. Score is 3-4, and right now we have a Moxie Crocodile poised to sweep if it has the Choice Scarf attached. And Garchomp, the Gengar, comes out. It's likely this thing has a Sash, otherwise I don't think Morgana would send it in so willingly. The big question now is leave Liability in and risk the Focus Sash, or switch out to Tornadus Therian to take one of those moves and break the Sash instead. And he went for the Earthquake, taking Garchomp down to 1%. Destiny Bond is actually the move that was used by Morgana, so now if Crocodile attacks this Gengar next turn, it will be taken down, but Crocodile will be taken down with it. In this scenario, Crocodile is free to switch out, however, because of the fact that Gengar does not have Crocodile trapped at the moment. So that's actually what we might see with Tornadus Therian. Liability using Earthquake first means that it is likely holding a Choice Scarf indeed. And Dream Fetus, the Musharna, actually comes out taking a Shadow Ball. It's not going to do as much damage as it normally would, though, because of the Queso Berry that it was holding. but that special defense drop, paired with the fact that it no longer has a berry, means that a Shadow Ball once more will be pretty devastating to this Musharna. Nice read by Morgana going for the Shadow Ball, because Crocodile was definitely not going to stick around with that Destiny Bond. Shadow Ball will hit anything regardless pretty hard. Crocodile may be tempted to come back out, but it is dangerous considering the fact that this Gengar might have Dazzling Gleam and might go for it. Destiny Bond's actually the move that Garchomp decides to use. Dream Fetus is going to go for the Psychic, taking it down, and both go down. The score is now 2-3. Both sides are going to have to pick which Pokemon to come out next, and it's a risky choice. Crocodile's not going to want to be set up with that Hitmonlee, and I don't think that the other two are going to want to set up with Crocodile, so I foresee Hitmonlee and Tornadus Therian being picked. "13 turns in, and this battle has been explosive so far, both sides hitting those offenses really hard. Kind of sad we didn't see the Trick Room from Musharna, but it looks like Ember's trying to go for that Scarf Moxie strategy, so that Trick Room could have sabotaged that strategy, actually, especially with Tornadus Therian also being a very speedy Pokemon, being able to outspeed all of Morgana's team. Due to that fact, I think it is likely that we'll see Tornadus come in, and I do think we'll see Hitmonlee come in, although I'm not 100% sure. The decision is being made. Who will come out? With both sides picking their Pokemon at the same time, there's no intel on who to switch in to which Pokemon. It is just a guessing game at this time of which side will send out what. And we see Primarina and Crocodile coming out. Primarina does appear to be in the range of perhaps Earthquake taking it down. It is risky, but a switch to Tornadus Therian might be enough to take it down. Oh, and just 3% left for Aerith, the Primarina. Was it a damage roll that was unlucky, or was it just not enough to take down Primarina? This Primarina was able to take down Crocodile with an Ice Beam. That was the ace in the hole for Ember, but he still does have Tornadus Therian with Primarina and Necrozma weakened down to their low HP, and Tornadus Therian having a type advantage versus Hitmonlee. Will Tornadus Therian be able to take down the rest of the team single-handedly? We're going to see now. And an Air Slash is going to take down Aerith the Primarina. Majin Buu is with its back to the wall, but it is still determined to fight on. Morgana determined as well, with Hitmonlee with full health and Necrozma still available to him. The big question now is, will Hitmonlee be able to survive an Air Slash, or will it go down with one Air Slash? Everything seems to be riding on Morgana's chance to take this with Hitmonlee. And Rotom gone, the Hitmonlee comes out. Is it going to go for the Curse Boost? An Air Slash is going to be big damage. 13% on Hitmonlee now, but it went for the Curse Boost. It has 1.5 attack, 1.5 defense, and it's unburdened. If it has Stone Edge, this is it for Majin Buu. It does have Stone Edge, and Majin Buu goes down, and that is the match. It's an 0-2 result. 2-0 for Morgana's team, which is Northern Necrozma's. Really good match. Both Pokemon on Morgana's team hanging on by a thread in that one. Both sides put up a really good fight, and very, very good match. So tune in for some more coming later, and I'll see you then.